Well, good morning, everybody. It's been a very interesting last several hours. We've had a few thunderstorms roll through over the last 3 to 4 hours here in central Nebraska, scouring out some of the really foggy conditions we've been dealing with. So what we have is a classic late winter, early spring low pressure system that's moving out of Colorado into Kansas right now. We have the occluded front pushing east from there, and then that splits into a warm front that's lifting north into our area, a cold front down into Kansas. How far north that front gets today is going to be very important to our forecast. I think we're going to be looking at waves of storms through the day today. The other thing I'll mention is a cold front over northwest Nebraska. That's going to bring the crummy weather that comes in the strong winds and the change to snow later today. So let's advance this out a few hours through noon today. We've had one wave of showers and thunderstorms already. I think we get another one that comes through later on this morning, closer to that frontal boundary here. And most of this activity this morning should be non-severe thunderstorms. We haven't had anything severe yet. There's been some small hail, some gusty winds. I don't think we'll see much severe weather yet this morning. But later today, more thunderstorms will develop this afternoon close to that front. Now, areas to the south are going to be a little warmer. We're going to see some warm 60s here in these locations to the south. But farther north, not as warm, 50s here. And then where that cold front comes through, we're going to see dropping temperatures up to the northwest. All rain mainly this morning. Some snow in the far northwest later this morning. But those areas are going to see the rain transition to snow first. Some thunder snow there. Meanwhile, again, that second wave, or that next wave of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon developing over these areas right here close to that frontal boundary. Some severe weather is going to be a possibility. Meanwhile, the rain transitioning over to snow up here to the northwest. Still rain in the Tri-Cities, but O'Neill, Broken Bow, North Platte all changing to snowfall. And where it snows, it's going to be blowing snow because we're going to see strengthening north winds driving that cold air southward. Those winds are going to get really nasty later today and into this evening. Meanwhile, breezy southerly winds out ahead of this frontal boundary here. So very interesting weather with all kinds of weather depending on where you are. Let's advance this out into the evening as the rain continues to transition over to snow into the Tri-Cities area by the mid-evening hours. And winds will be at their strongest at this time. We are talking about sustained winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour out of the north, driving southward, gusts of 50 to maybe 55 miles per hour. So where it starts to snow, blowing snow is expected, which means we could be looking at near whiteout conditions. A kind of a pocket of drier weather here. We won't see as much off to the southeast. That's where we won't see as much snow. Later into the evening hours, still snow falling, but starting to diminish and lighten up a little bit. So we could still see some snow through midnight, but not as much accumulating by that point, but blowing snow still a problem. Drying out to the northwest. The snow coming to an end there, but still blowing snow a problem up in northern and northwest portions of the area. The snow diminishes shortly after midnight, so I think by about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, most of the snow is done. But we're left with blustery winds, so blowing snow is still a threat even through about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. It'll be much colder tomorrow morning. We're going to get some partial clearing of the skies. Cold, blustery conditions out there tomorrow morning. That wind will slowly die down through the day, so much lighter winds later on tomorrow. It's going to be a chilly day, though. We'll see a mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. Probably a little bit more cloud cover later in the day compared to the morning hours. So first off, let's go back to the spring side of things. We'll talk about the severe weather threat for today. Now, a new update's going to come out at 8 o'clock this morning, so we'll see if there are any changes. But as of right now, we have the biggest threat of severe weather over eastern Nebraska and into Iowa and northern Missouri. That's where there's an enhanced risk of severe weather out. A slight risk extends to the west all the way to Grand Island and Hastings, with a marginal threat in the green shaded counties there farther to the west. I really think right now, as I look at things right now, the biggest threat's going to be about right here for severe weather this afternoon. Your big threats: damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. Hail that could get up to golf ball size hail, maybe larger in eastern Nebraska around Omaha, Lincoln, Nebraska City, Beatrice, maybe larger than golf ball size hail. There's also a small chance of an isolated tornado. A little better chance, again, in eastern Nebraska, a smaller chance in central Nebraska, but can't be ruled out. There's going to be a lot of spin in the atmosphere, so right along that boundary. It's very close to wherever that front will be. And again, we'll back things up here a little bit. Right here, it's kind of these areas right in between Grand Island, Hastings, down toward the south, wherever those thunderstorms develop, that's where your biggest threat for maybe an isolated tornado will be. So we'll have to watch that threat as well. Then there's the winter side of things, of course, later today and into tonight. We have winter weather advisories out in the purple shaded counties, including Kearney, not GI and Hastings, St. Paul, Fullerton, back to the McCook area and then northward. Purple shaded counties, winter weather advisory starting late this afternoon at 4 o'clock, continuing until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the reason it continues all the way through 7, even though the snow will be well done by then, with the strong winds blowing, snow could still be a problem even after the snow comes to an end. Most of these areas, 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, but I do think there's a pocket that could see some higher amounts up in north central portions of Nebraska. I would be most concerned about maybe seeing some higher amounts up here to the north. We've seen an upgrade to a winter storm warning in places like Broken Bow and North Platte. Winter storm warning out from this afternoon through tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. We could see higher amounts of snow, near whiteout conditions here, almost blizzard conditions. And then farther west, blizzard warnings are in place. Dundee County and southwest Nebraska, and then all of the panhandle where blowing snow will be a big problem there. So snowfall amounts, again, still expected to be higher to the northwest compared to the southeast, which will see lower amounts. I think 3 to 6 inches will be pretty common, but there may be some isolated amounts a little over 6 inches there to the northwest. Tri-Cities, up to 1 inch or 2 of snowfall here, but again, when it snows, blowing snow could be a problem. Quickly seeing those amounts diminish as you go farther to the southeast. Now on to temperatures for today, which will warm to the southeast. We'll see 60s. Now I think Hastings could actually get up to around 60 degrees today. Unfortunately, when I plug in numbers, I plug in the number for all 3 of the Tri-Cities, and it only updates for Grand Island and Hastings and not for Kearney. So I think if you average the 3 out, up to around 55 at noon, but it could get up to 60 in Hastings today. More 60s to the southeast, but then much cooler to the northwest, 40s and then 30s. And those dropping temperatures coming in this afternoon. Colder air is going to start to push southeastward quickly this afternoon. Temperatures plunge tonight, so rain transitioning over to snow in the Tri-Cities. And by tomorrow morning, we are down into the teens to start things off tomorrow morning. How about that future wind chill out there, though? Let's take this into tonight, and again, tomorrow morning, we could be looking at wind chills that'll be down to around 0. Single digits above and below 0 wind chills to start off tomorrow morning. A very cold start to the morning. Now, again, tomorrow afternoon then, we too try to warm up a little bit. It's going to be a chilly day tomorrow. The winds will diminish through the day, so they should be lighter later in the day. We'll see highs in the 20s and lower 30s, maybe mid-30s down there in Kansas. Tomorrow night, not quite as cold, but still pretty chilly out there. The winds will be lighter. That's good news, though. Mid to upper teens and lower 20s for overnight lows. We improve starting Saturday. Highs back into the 40s for most of us. Maybe some 30s over those areas that have a lot of snow from the snowfall there. Might even get to 50 in southwest Nebraska. It gets better through the weekend. So again, starting to warm up Saturday, partly cloudy skies. I did throw in a chance of rain as we get towards Sunday. Mainly Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening, but we do get into the lower 50s. A better chance of rain and isolated thunderstorms Monday afternoon into Monday night and Tuesday morning, but temperatures do continue to warm things up. As we get towards Monday and Tuesday, we're back above average. Wednesday looking mostly sunny, and we should dry things out as we see temperatures well into the 60s. The long-range high temperature forecast, you've kind of already seen it, but this gives you a better perspective of what we'll be seeing in the coming week or so ahead. Again, the big drop in temperatures tomorrow, climbing out of that deep freeze over the weekend, and then better temperatures coming in early to middle portions of next week. We may drop a little bit by next Thursday there, but then start to warm things back up again. So, very complicated forecast. Again, keep watching the radar today. Again, watch for that severe weather threat. Have that weather radar handy, and of course the Local 4 weather app as well. Then of course this afternoon if you live in the Northwest, and this evening for the Tri-Cities and other areas where that rain transitions to snow. Blowing snow is going to be a big problem, and travel is not recommended. So travel not recommended to the north and west this afternoon, and for the Tri-Cities as we change over this evening. Travel not recommended because of the blowing snow problems out there. So there you go. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you all again on your Friday morning, where it's going to be cold and blustery, but the thunderstorms will be gone and the snow should be done by then as well. We'll talk to you all later. Thank you and God bless. Bye.